If you ever feel like your life is falling apart because you made one dumb mistake, just remember, some of the most wanted criminals on earth got caught the exact same way. And when I say one dumb mistake, I don't mean some genius detective move or a high-speed chase with helicopters. No. I mean the kind of mistake that makes you pause and go, bro, you were this close to getting away with it. Today we're doing top 5 criminals caught because of one stupid mistake. And trust me, every single one of these people was hiding in plain sight until they basically snitched on themselves. Let's get into it. Number 5. Ted Bundy, caught because he couldn't drive normal for 5 minutes. Ted Bundy is one of the most infamous serial killers ever, and what's crazy is, he didn't get caught because someone saw him doing something violent. He got caught because a police officer noticed something off during a simple traffic stop. Bundy had a habit of cruising around late at night, acting suspicious, and at one point he stopped by police and they search his car. What they find looks like the starter pack for a horror movie. Masks, handcuffs, rope. Just pure bad vibes in the trunk. And this is the part that always gets me. Bundy tried to play it off like it was normal. Like, yeah bro, everyone keeps handcuffs and a ski mask in their car, totally casual. But that one stop is what starts connecting him to other cases. And later on, even after he escapes custody, twice, he still gets caught again through simple random traffic attention while driving a stolen vehicle. Imagine being one of the most hunted men in America and your downfall is you're driving like a GTA NPC with a wanted level. This is why I always say, criminals don't get caught because they're not smart. They get caught because they get comfortable. You can only act normal for so long when your car looks like a suspicious props department. Number 4. The son of Sam, caught because of a parking ticket. This one is straight up legendary because it sounds like something from a comedy sketch, but it's real. New York City in the 1970s is in full panic mode because there's a killer going around shooting people, taunting police, sending letters, basically treating the city like his personal stage. The entire NYPD is hunting him. And then one night, at the scene of one of the shootings, a witness notices something small and random, a car parked illegally near a fire hydrant. A cop comes by and gives it a parking ticket, just doing his job, nothing dramatic. But that parking ticket ends up becoming the thread that unravels everything. Detectives start checking the cars that were ticketed in the area at that exact time, and one of them leads straight to David Berkowitz. That's it. That's the mistake. Not some master plan, not a genius clue hidden in a cipher, just bro parked like an idiot. Imagine you're wanted across the entire city, and the thing that takes you down is the same thing that takes down regular people every day. You didn't read the sign. It's the most unserious way to get caught, but it's also a perfect example of how big investigations sometimes get cracked by the smallest detail. Number 3. The Unabomber, caught because he wanted people to read his manifesto. This one is a different kind of stupid because it wasn't one physical mistake like leaving your wallet behind. It was an ego mistake. For nearly 2 decades, the Unabomber was sending bombs through the mail, staying hidden, creating fear, and making investigators chase shadows. And then he makes the decision that becomes his downfall. He wants a platform. He wants attention. He wants the world to hear him. So a manifesto is published, and that's when everything changes. Not because some lab found a new breakthrough, but because someone recognized the writing style. His own brother, David Kaczynski, reads it and is like, I hate that I'm even thinking this, but this sounds like my brother. And that leads investigators straight to Theodore Kaczynski. Think about how insane that is. After all that time, all that effort staying hidden, what exposes you is basically your own personality leaking through your words. He couldn't just disappear quietly. He needed people to understand him, fear him, respect him, whatever it was. And that need to be heard was the exact thing that got him caught. It's like he went from ghost criminal to published author. And the second he did that, it was over. Sometimes the biggest mistake isn't what you do at the scene. It's thinking you're untouchable and trying to flex. Number 2, the Golden State Killer, caught because of DNA and one tiny trace he left behind. This one feels like a real-life cheat code because it shows how the world changed while this man thought he was safe forever. The Golden State Killer committed a long series of crimes decades ago and basically lived the rest of his life as a normal person, blending in, aging out of suspicion, watching time pass, thinking, yeah, I got away with it. But here's the thing, he didn't account for the future. Investigators still had DNA evidence from old crime scenes, and now we live in the era where DNA can connect you to relatives through public genealogy databases and family tree building. That's the mistake. He existed in a world where DNA science wasn't what it is now, and he left behind traces that didn't mean much back then, but meant everything later. Investigators used genetic genealogy to narrow down a family tree, circle the right person, and that eventually led to Joseph James DeAngelo, arrested in 2018. Imagine committing crimes in the 70s and 80s, living a whole normal life, and then one day the future just taps you on the shoulder like, "Hey, remember that one mistake you made 40 years ago? Yeah, we upgraded." This is why modern criminals should be terrified, because you don't just have to be perfect today. You have to be perfect forever. And nobody is perfect forever. Number 1. BTK. Caught because he asked police a question like it was customer support. This one is my favorite because it's genuinely unbelievable. BTK, short for bind, torture, kill, was a serial killer who taunted investigators for years and then went quiet for a long time. And then he comes back. Not because he had to, but because he wanted attention again. He starts sending letters and messages to police, playing games, acting like he's in control. And at one point, he literally asks the police something that should be taught in every How Not to Get Caught class. He basically asks them if it would be safe to send a floppy disk and whether it could be traced. And the police, being police, are like, "No, bro, totally safe, you should definitely send it." And he actually does. He sends a floppy disk thinking he's being clever, and investigators pull data from it that links back to a computer at his church. That mistake, sending that disk, leads directly to Dennis Rader being identified and arrested in 2005. Like, imagine your entire criminal career ends because you trusted the same people you were taunting to give you honest advice. That's like asking the teacher if the test is hard and then believing them when they say, "Nah, it's easy." BTK didn't get caught because he slipped up violently. He got caught because his ego told him he could flirt with the investigation and still control it. And the moment he turned the case into a game, he lost. So yeah, that's the list. 5 criminals who weren't caught because the universe suddenly got fair. They got caught because they made a mistake so simple, so unnecessary, that it almost feels fake. And honestly, that's the scariest part. Some of these people were out there for years, decades, living normal lives. And then one tiny slip, one disc, one ticket, one traffic stop, one published manifesto, one trace of DNA was enough to bring the whole thing down like dominoes. If you want a part 2, I've got even more of these, because the amount of criminals who basically catch themselves is insane. Comment which one was the dumbest mistake, and trust me, the next list is even worse. If you've made it this far, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and check out another interesting story.